continue for a pretty long time, and that is why we are planning accordingly. That again, that is what I'm saying, that it is too far-fetched to comment on that. What is going to happen in the future. Future is not very predictable. As this pandemic was, unprecedented. Nobody had imagined. Definitely, it is going to change, and the teachers have adjusted. Initially there were glitches. Everybody is not very much, technologically savvy. They don't know because in those days when those teachers have studied, they have not studied through technology. So teachers were not very much receptive to technology earlier. So the major change that has occurred in the teachers is that they have become receptive to technology. They have understood that technology has come to stay in our classrooms. Teachers have to create learning through small modules now, because when the children are very actively involved in technology, we cannot retain their attention for a very long time. So we have to make small modules, and after teaching that small module, we have to test that. And that your questions should not be very much leading. It should be a little bit, twisted thing which allows them to think, which is not just helping them to memorize things. It is something which is helping them to analyze things. So teaching has to be modular now. We cannot say that I will teach the whole chapter in one go. Parents never said that the mobiles are bad. Teachers used to say the mobiles are bad for the students. It happens. What used to happen, I'll tell you, that the parents used to say that my child has taken a mobile phone and I am not able to keep my child away from the phone. Please take the child's phone. Isn't it? That is what the parents used to come and request. But what happened, that the child was not actually studying through that phone at that time. They were playing games, or they were chatting with their friends, or they were on social media. That was happening. And more or less the screen time was same. Because there is another point of discussion right now, that the screen time has increased. But I have a small child, a 9 years old girl at home, and if I calculate her screen time, when she used to watch TV, or when she used to sit with the phone playing some game or using WhatsApp or something, it is more or less than that. Because now when she is sitting with that gadget in her hand and she is actually studying, and she is most of the time writing, and she is listening to the teacher, and yes, it has improved the listening capability of the children as well. Partially it can change because more or less again we were working on that, because with the new education policy coming in, where there is lots of stress on application based questions, lots of stress on analysis, critical thinking, because till now our system was such that where we were focusing on more on remembrance based questions, but slowly we are shifting towards the analytical thinking, critical thinking, and application based thinking questions. So yes, we are already shifting towards it. In the new education policy also the guidelines are there. We will be doing, yes, that will happen. Up to some extent it will happen. There were some glitches wherein the parents are in some places where the network is not there, because the school had just finished with examination, so some of them had already gone to the native places. So there they were having some issues with the network. So in that case, we started putting our notes and our lectures on the school website, wherein they could download at their convenience and study it. In fact, one of our teachers also had this problem, because the teacher was in his native place and there was no network. So he used to come out of the village to a place where there was a network and conduct his class from that place. That has also happened. But then we have learnt how to be happy in simple ways. We have learnt how to find out solution to every problem, because I believe that there is no problem without a solution. We all planned together, our schools in Delhi, Kolkata, even in Doha, we all planned together, and we sat down and we chalked out the things that we are going to do during the lockdown, even before the lockdown, that had been chalked out. That is why perhaps by 30th of March we had started our classes. Then when we started with these classes, of course there were some technical glitches because maybe somewhere the parents were not very much prepared for that, or maybe somewhere people were thinking that this is just a temporary thing, it's not going to last very long. Of course we were also thinking that way. It's not that we were thinking that this is going to be so long. We had also thought that maybe within few days the things will settle down and we'll be able to meet our teachers, because meet our students, because we do miss them. Those empty corridors, empty grounds, it's just like a school is without life. When the children are there, it's buzzing with activity. So we started with the classes with the senior children first, 8th to 12th, because we knew that they'd be able to adjust better to the technology, because the children, grown-up children are, they are more accustomed to all those things. And we started with Zoom, then we started with Microsoft Teams, and various platforms we started using, and yes, we started recording the videos and started sending to YouTube also, because some recorded material we already had. And then we thought that this is not exactly what is education. Education means so many more things. It's not just about giving them bookish knowledge. So then we started posting videos on physical fitness, because CBSE had also started sending those brochures and all those things that we should take care of the physical fitness also. So our yoga teachers, they started preparing videos that how they can be fit at home, because when they're not moving out, and they need to be physically fit as well, and during this COVID-19 the physical fitness is most important. So we started posting videos on yoga, aerobics, and different physical activities, dance, Zumba. So the teachers started preparing videos, and then we started posting that also. And I'm so thankful to my parents. They are so wonderful parents that they have been, it was like with us throughout. When teachers are struggling on this end, the parents are struggling on the other end as well. So the only thing everybody wants is the well-being of the child. That when the child is at home, the child should be physically fit, and mentally agile, and studying as well, not losing on education exactly. So we started conducting some virtual assemblies also. So then we thought, okay, let's have some kind of evaluation as well. So then we introduced a small test, online again test, mostly MCQ based, wherein the children have to click the answers. But again, for the small children, I was apprehensive that how much they can do. So we decided to have an oral exam for them. I hope that they all have learned this lesson, because somewhere along the line we had started taking things casually, too much for granted. So maybe they have learned this lesson, and yes, we all have become very careful about our hygiene, because that was the Indians' way of living, isn't it? Like people used to take off the slippers outside, people used to take bath when they used to come from outside. It was a part of our culture. So somewhere along the line maybe we started missing that culture, and we've come back to our roots again. That's Earth's way of reminding us that you should be more careful. We say that this body is like a temple, and temple is kept pure, clean. So we need to keep this temple clean and pure inside and outside, because inside is more important. We need to have good thoughts, proper thoughts, because outside, of course, there's lots of pollution. We cure that, but the mind that is polluted, that also needs to be cured, and that can help through value education, which we are trying to imbibe during this period also, because the basic principle of our group is this, that we need to create good human beings. It's not, and those good human beings may or may not be academically strong. Academic is something that takes a backseat in the long run. in the long run, it's the human being that matters. Nobody walks around with his or her certificates or credentials. It's the behavior that matters.
Thank you so much.